Good morning, Galimera, Galimera. How are we all today? Well, what an absolutely fabulous day it is today. The olive harvest slowly coming in at the moment. I've got to be honest, Yanni's been really busy along with his brother getting the harvest in. As you can see, we've still got quite a little bit of olive branch there, basically blocking the road. However, he's filled quite a few sacks as well. Can we see any sacks? No, I think he's moved the sacks actually. Yeah, the sacks seem to have gone. But anyway, as you can see, it's a beautiful day today. The sun is shining, just a little bit of cloud in the sky, not too much. And guess what? Today is the day when we are in the green. All right. So anyway, guess what? All my controls are on my tablet today. So let me just switch the camera around to my dulcet face because yesterday it was Sandy that was the cat who was featured on my little, what do you call it, a little avatar thing for the daily broadcast. So anyway, let's have a quick look at the news. Interesting news today. One thing I did discover today, when I came back on my flight from the UK, I thought I was very fortunate to get through very, very quickly, going through immigration, past testing, because I didn't have to be tested, which was great. But I just learned this morning that on my TUI flight, it took 1 hour, 45 minutes for people to be tested and pass through. And people were waiting quite a while, obviously, you know, outside the workers, etc., to get everybody onto the buses and into their transport and away. So 1 hour, 45 minutes before the last person came through. I did think it was odd that so many people were being pulled to one side to be tested. Anyway, looking at the COVID figures then, Greece has had another 10 deaths from Sunday. Okay, we've also had another 790 new cases as well. 76 of those are from known. 99 cases were from abroad. And we've also had one case here in Zakynthos as well. No details at the moment as to who the person was that tested positive, whether it's a tourist or whether it's a local. Hopefully, we might get more clarity later on today. Anyway, it's interesting looking at the, as you know, today officially we are in the green level. Yay! That means we're in the lowest tier. Tier 1, all right, tier 1, the lowest level, which means there should be an extension in the bars and pubs and clubs to 1 o'clock in the morning. We shouldn't have any curfew where you're not allowed to be out after 12:30 at night or driving around. That should all now go. But anyway, we are in the green. At the moment at Corfu had 2 cases of COVID being confirmed over the weekend, and they're obviously still in level 2 at the moment. The highest cases of COVID obviously over the weekend was in Athens at 227 in the Attica region, and also Thessaloniki where it was 181. So there you go, there's the cases. It's quite interesting. Jane was doing a little bit of research this morning and going through her sources, looking at the population of looking at pandemics from the past, okay, what the global population mortality rate was at the time of that pandemic. So the number 1 on that list was the Black Death. And for those people wondering when the Black Death took place, that was 1347 to 1351. And 42.1% of the global population died from that pandemic, which is an amazing number, all right? When you look at the Spanish flu of 2.7% of the world population passed away from the pandemic. And when you compare that to HIV and AIDS in the 1980s, it was 0.57% globally passed away from that pandemic. It's interesting to note that the last big pandemic that we had was in 2009 to 2010, which was the swine flu, and that was at 0.003% of the world's population passed away to that. And if you're wondering where COVID rates in this at the moment, Well, COVID at the moment from 2019, when it was first technically identified, up until the present, the total global population that has passed away to COVID has been 0.0142%. So not really a huge amount. All right. So anyway, we'll see how things move on. The Greek Prime Minister yesterday was publicly defending Greece's right to its 12-mile extension of its territories, its territorial waters, saying that it is not disputed, it's a unilateral and invariable right to the country. The Prime Minister was obviously referring to a Turkish provocation, which he said had manifested itself before the pandemic, but it has escalated into a second wave. All right. The first wave was last year, the island of Evos, with illegal migrants descending on the country, which he says was directed by Turkish authorities. He also further said that illegal immigration into Greece had dropped by 75% in comparison to last year. He further stated that the government is responding to Turkey's aggressions with active diplomacy. And he also attacked the former Prime Minister, Mr. Tsipras, about how under his government the country was not focused on the issue with Turkey. And now America is taking, which always took a neutral stance with Turkey and Greece, is now taking a much more active role with Greece, and is now basically to support Greek law. So a lot of rhetoric, a lot of shouting at the moment going on. The Turkey and Greek situation is still hotting up. All right. So a lot of people's energies are focused in that area at the moment. Another little bit of local news for you. The local church in Ias Demetrius, which is called St. Barbara's, that was broken into over the weekend. Now, this is not the first time that the church has been broken into. In the past 3 to 4 years, the Church of St. Barbara's in Ias Demetrius has been broken into 5 times. Now, most of the times, the thieves are after a very valuable icon of St. Barbara, the patron saint of that little village, and basically she's been stolen, but they've managed to recover her on numerous occasions. Well, anyway, on this last breaking into the church, they got away with nothing. The icon of St. Barbara is now kept. Don't leave it in the special occasions, but it does highlight the need for your own personal security and security around. There are unscrupulous people, and at the moment, as we're heading towards winter, and obviously people with not a lot of money, obviously people are taking risks in robbery and burglary, which, to be honest, does happen on the island, and people should be aware of that. And also, while you're on holiday here, please, again, don't leave too many valuables knocking about. Lock them away. Close the rooms to your accommodation where you're staying, and don't give the opportunist thief the opportunity to get in through your open balcony doors and take your money and your possessions. All right. Okay. A great afternoon yesterday afternoon. Jane and I were out feeding the strays and also just hanging out down at Claude's. It was great that we run into Dean T. Betton. Those people who don't know who Dean T. Betton is, he's a lovely fella. He's our Robbie Williams tribute throughout the season. Unfortunately, he didn't manage to get over this year because his lovely wife, he had to stay and make sure that she was okay. However, he was on Britain's Got Talent with his dad, Dave. They were known as Dean and Dave, father and son. And they did really, really well, actually, in the Britain's Got Talent. Unfortunately, didn't make the final cut, bless them. But anyway, it was great catching up with Dean yesterday and having a chat with him. Not only Dean, but also with the lovely Danielle Rogers, who was also back from her short little tour in Cyprus. It's interesting because in the local press today, there's there's been local musicians talking about how they are needing more help from the Greek government because they've obviously had a very, very bad season and obviously they need more help. And two people that I do know, Nikos Grampas, he's quite a famous music composer here on Zakynthos. He stressed how bad it has been for the musicians here and how more help is needed for them. Also, another guy who I've seen singing many a time, Dionys Parasikopoulos. He's the former president of the Fan Hellenic Music Association. He's been criticising, saying that the money that they've been offered at €534 a month, he said, is not enough to feed their families. They'd like to see more help towards the musicians. In the fact that when they compare what's been given to British and also German musicians have also been affected by the pandemic, the governments have helped them out in a lot more positive way. So anyway, and again, music brings people together. Everybody loves a good tune, whether you can understand the words or not. There's many a Greek song you haven't got a clue what they're singing about, but you just like the tune. So anyway, and I know Dean was talking about how hard he's found this season with obviously work drying up, and a lot of other artists that we've had who've obviously having a hard time in the UK. And it doesn't help when the Chancellor is telling them all to retrain and get other jobs and do something else. When you consider the training and the skills that they have and the fact that, hey, it's great having music. You can't not live without music. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that story and we'll see what the Greek government does for the musicians here and the entertainers here in Greece. Let's see who's tuned. Let's have a look. We got Steve Simpson. Nice to have you with us. Is it Frangiska Buraseki? I think that is. I think that might be a Hungarian girl who's been here to the island a few times and been at Magdalena's. Christine Wildridge is there. Matt Williams is there as well. Tony Yardley. Hello, Tony. How you doing? Another great singer. Also, Ray Maurice Phillips. Yeah, just Ray. Nice to have you tuning in as well. Nice to see your... I suppose you're pleased about this, fella. We'll see what your season's going to be like next year. And Ray's going, I want my €534 a month unemployment. It would help some way along the line. Very true indeed, sir. Very true. Margaret Black as well. Nice to have you looking in as well. Gaz Waller-Reed, nice to see you. Jack Harmer, nice to have you. Emma Macardo is nice to see you. Hilly Rogers, Andy Johnson. Emma says, morning, Ginge. Thank you. Andrew Patrick... Vernals, is that right? Andrew Patrick Vernals saying hello. Nice to see you as well, Andrew. Susie Angus, she's also an entertainer. Nice to have her tuning in. Also, all the way from Australia, ex-RAF Reg Gunner and good old round egg, Graham Bint, and also author. He's done a few books. One of them was it's about surviving PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Again, you can find his book on Amazon. It's on there for sale. So anyway, if you want to get more in touch with him. So cheers, Graham. Also, Tracy Kelly Hyde is tuning in. Louise Green is tuning in. Chick Ballantyne as well. Nice to have you tuning in. Ashley Duncan, nice to see you as well. Chick says, morning, Ginge. Alan Woodhouse is watching. Steve Hodgson is watching. Andrew the Fridge Watkins, all the way from Wales. How is the weather in Wales at the moment? Is it as nice as it is here at the moment? And how are you getting on with this restricted... only essential items? I've got to laugh. What is an essential item these days? Is couscous classed as an essential item, or is a new pair of underpants classed as an essential item? The madness of Wales at the moment is knowing no bounds. I would have blamed the Diddy men, but I think the Diddy men technically are Liverpudlian, actually, from Notty Ash. Anyway, Andrew the Fridge Watkins, I hope you're enjoying your essential items, bread and water probably, with maybe a bit of dripping. Anyway, who else we got? No, that's it. All right. Right, so what's happening today? Well, today's the last day that the lovely Lady Jane is here. She's flying back to Leek tomorrow, obviously flying into Manchester. So it's going to be interesting to see how busy her flight is going to be. Flying with Tui on the way out and coming back with... EasyJet via Athens. Interestingly, I've just heard on the grapevine there is still an EasyJet flight 1st of November the last EasyJet flight in is on the 1st of November to Gatwick. So again, you've still got that little bit of yourself over here if you wish. In fact, when I was speaking to Dean yesterday, Dean actually said they just took a chance. They actually booked, and they actually, considering he lives in Blackpool, he took a flight from Luton to get over here. Yeah, he took every chance. And Andrew the Frid Watkins has just said, it's peeing down for the last few days, but brighter this morning. Plenty of wine, so I think I'm okay. So there you go. Essential item, wine. If you remember, they didn't shut threshers on the lockdown in the UK, did they? They just wanted people to get slowly inebriated to basically numb them from the madness of the coronavirus. And also, can I say, Steve Hodgson from the concert crew says hello up there in Durham. Nice in as well. Right, just a quick reminder, I'm going to do 2 shows this week. My first show, which will go out on Wednesday, okay, from 34 being rebroadcast. That will be kind of a normal show, but I've decided Friday, my show Friday is going to be a Halloween special. I've been making Halloween stuff as well while I've been here. So if you want a record either for Wednesday or a record for Friday, a dedication, a mention or something like that, start sticking it in down below. Okay, I'm going to put a little slide up where you can put your requests in, and I'm going to collate all of those. And I'm really looking forward. I'm going to do a Halloween special for Friday afternoon, so I'll be broadcasting that on Friday from down at 34. I'll probably do a broadcast from 34, and then I will then stream out the Halloween special, all with great special effects, great little video clips, all music of a scary nature, which I'm sure you will appreciate. Right, that's it from me. I'm going to go. I'm going to stop gibbering now, and I'll speak to you soon. You take care and have a great day wherever you are.